Just a moment. Okay. Sorry about that. I wanted to adjust my color settings on my camera. So, today we will be doing the water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Today is Monday. We are on the day of the full moon in Cancer, so it's a very appropriate day to do the water signs. The full moon will be opposite, in opposition to the sun, and it will also be in opposition to Pluto today. I did want to mention a few things here at the start of the reading, which is that if you want a personal reading, if you find this resonates with you, my information is down in the description. I have many different price points for my readings. I will not be contacting you in the comments, however. I will be also doing crystal scrying over on the members side of the channel for the water signs. After this, I will be using this beautiful, beautiful moonstone. You can see the shimmers, extra shimmery. The decks that I will be using today, I think I forgot to pull out my end card here. Well, never you mind. No, it's in there. So this is the Book of Thoth Tarot. It is a Grand Itala style deck, and what that means is that there are little phrases in French here on the cards, and some of the major arcana cards are also slightly different, like this one. So if any of those come up, you will notice this one is kind of like the moon card. It's about the day and the night and the stars. So it's a little bit like the star card also. If any of those come out, you will see that I read them slightly differently. Another thing that I wanted to do today I'm going to be pulling a flower magic card for each of you. And these cards, this is a very beautiful deck. I love the aesthetics. It reminds me a lot of the 1990s. It also reminds me of Art Nouveau and the Victorian era. And I just find it a really lovely oracle deck to work with. I'm very picky when it comes to oracle decks. A lot of them really don't have a lot of basis in factual information or any kind of legitimate spirituality. And then there are others that just don't resonate with me because even though they might be really lovely decks, it just doesn't apply to my own practice. So there are a variety of reasons why I'm very picky about my oracle decks. So water signs, if you would just relax for me, and start taking some deep breaths. I do have the Florida water that I like to use to clear the space for the water sign readings. I like to keep it related to the element that we are reading for on a particular day. I don't want to bruise the snake gall. But this is something that is produced in China, and I bought it at my local Asian market. We have 99 Ranch here in Van Nuys. One of the very few blessings of this area is the 99 Ranch, so I always try to show my gratitude where gratitude is due. And I love the smell, and it's imbued with a lot of wonderful curative powers. And it's also just a very pleasant and protective kind of substance. So, if you would, water signs for me, please. Take a deep breath in. And then, as you exhale, just push out all of the stress, all of the tension that you carry around with you at any given time. Take a deep breath in. And again, just kind of sigh out all of that tension. We're going to be starting with the water sign of Cancer. And Cancer, now that you're good and relaxed, just kind of let some of your concerns float to the front of your mind. There's no reason to be forceful with it. There's no reason to really dwell on these things or fixate on them. We're just going to kind of let them sit there at the forefront of our minds, Cancer, and just kind of wait for the answers to come from the cards. Wait for the answers to come. All right, so let's see what we have here. And I am going to go ahead and pull the Oracle card as well. And I really love the guidance that these Oracle cards give. So. Yes, 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 yes. I think we will start with the Oracle card, actually, and kind of set the tone for the reading. Let me write down the timestamp so I don't lose track of the time. And the flower magic oracle that I have for you today, Cancer, is Campanula, and it has to do with speaking out. speaking your truth. So, what does that entail? Don't hold your tongue. Don't keep your mouth shut. Don't bottle things up. It's a time to really speak your truth. I don't see the Queen of Swords here, but we do have the Campanula card, so that is about speaking out, speaking your truth. And if you don't speak up now, you could regret it. And you can use Campanula in magical workings to bring on rain or in protection spells. So it's actually raining quite a bit today in Los Angeles, which is not typical for this area. And if you're wearing the flower, you're unable to tell a lie. So you can use these flowers in truth magic. You can also use them in incense blends or medicine pouches to aid in shape-shifting, gaining clarity, or if you need to help other people to express themselves properly. So let's get into your reading, Cancer. We will be talking about the past. And I see here some kind of new emanation. We have the Chaos card here. You can see that there's been a burst hole in the middle. It's like the Big Bang, the great beginning of new things. This card is a bit like the Fool card, but there are a few key differences. Not necessarily in the knowing of what would happen, but this is a more creative kind of an energy. Out of chaos was born the one true spirit, and from the one true spirit generated all of what we see and know. So this could have been a very big beginning for you, could have been a fresh start in some area of your life. Perhaps some area of your life, not that everything was bulldozed and destroyed, that is a possibility, but this would have been a situation in which there was a complete departure from what had come before. And this card is upright, so this is still affecting the current situation. And we have the Four of Cups in the upright. And then it's crossed by the Page of Swords. So you have a few options, Cancer, available to you now based on this brand new start, a new creative beginning. And part of what you are doing right now is the Page of Swords. We do have the word spy at the top, but it's more like a fact-finding mission that you are educating yourself as much as possible about the options that you have available to you before you make a choice. So down here in the Imamsili, we have the Strength card, and it is showing up reversed. So it could be that you're the one being subjugated, much like this woman has control over the lion here on the card. It could be that there is not a need for strength or force at this time, and that things are better handled by kind of taking a step back. But it could also be, because remember what we got here with the oracle card, Campanula, speak out, speak your truth. So what could also be going on here is that there is a need for you to speak your truth, and you haven't done it yet. You could still be weighing your options and trying to figure out what is the truth of the situation, and especially if you have just come out of a time that was a bit confusing. Your perspective on the matter is that you are achieving balance in your life, that you are working toward having everything evened out. And this might have been part of this situation in which you are really coming to terms with all of these fresh new things that are coming towards you. From an outsider's perspective, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and it says a gift of silver. So there could be situations coming towards you. The cards, when they are reversed, the potential is there for something. But for whatever reason, when the card is reversed, it is not being tapped into at this time. So people could see that you have an opportunity to have a new financial beginning, either to take a new job or to earn money in a new way. People could be seeing this opportunity for you, but you're not yet seeing it for yourself, or you're not yet seizing upon it. Those things are possible. It could be that there need to be more qualifications too, because where we have this Two of Pentacles is good, but it's not the professional reputation we would see with like the Three of Pentacles. So it could be that is what they are looking for. Here in the future, we do have the King of Pentacles. Now, he also is showing up reversed. But again, this could be about potential energies that you could move into very soon. But it is going to be predicated upon you putting yourself out there. That is mostly what I'm seeing at this time for you, Cancer, is that you are not applying yourself properly in the one particular area of spreading the word about your accomplishments and talents. Here in the hopes and fears, we have this card, which repose is like rest, but this is kind of like the Lover's card, in that we have Eve here in the Garden of Eden. She's being tempted by the serpent. So this is about choices that you need to make. What is right is not always popular. What is popular is not always right. You're hoping that you will be the one to have the choice in the matter. In this case, too, the Two of Pentacles could also be speaking to two different employment choices or two different opportunities to make money. It could be like, I have enough money to really invest in either of these things, but not both of them at the same time. Then that would not be balanced. Here in the midheaven, we have the Temperance card reversed. And what this person seems to be holding, it looks a bit like a bridle or something, which speaks to mastery over situations. They are holding a chalice here. Chalices can represent the emotions, of course, but in the case of Temperance, where we see this mutable fire energy associated with the sign of Sagittarius, there's also the perception there, and especially because we have this ongoing theme with the Tree of Knowledge, that the chalice can also be hidden knowledge and information and can be associated with the knowledge gained through experience and practice. Because this card is reversed, it is in the midheaven, which would be future events. It could have to do with, if you put in the proper practice, you will see result in mastery. But it's going to hinge upon your ability to seize upon this current energy where we have the Strength card reversed. That you will need to step forward and say something. We do have in the Strength card and the Temperance card here, two of the fire signs also. So look into your chart, Cancer, and see where you might have fire sign energies, and that might help you to act where you need to in this situation. And finally, your final outcome card, Cancer. Final outcome card, Cancer. We have the Six of Cups in the reverse. Now, again, this is a potential for things to return from the past. But it is also a card that when it shows up reversed like this, it's urging you to really not dwell on the past, but rather to look forward into the future and make more of your decisions based on what you see ahead of you than what you see behind. Especially because here we have had this very life-changing event. It could have been a clean slate in any area of your life. It could have been friendships, social groups, could have been a job, could have been family relationship related, it could have been a love relationship, it could have been a car crash. Not that I would wish that upon anyone. And I am talking about the past. I'm not predicting a car crash. What I am saying is that this card would represent that kind of event in one's life, of a clean slate. So Cancer, that is going to conclude your reading for this week. And now we will be moving on to the sign of Scorpio. Let me turn on. Sorry about that. I put the cards down and it was a little bit loud. I'll turn the cards over here so that I'll have them in front of me for the crystal scrying, the extended. And Scorpio, if you would like to just take some nice, gentle, deep, cleansing breaths. Just relax, and if you'd like to close your eyes, you can. If you fall asleep, that's quite all right as well. But just breathe in very gently, and then just kind of sigh out any tension you've been carrying, anything you've been holding on to that's no longer serving you. Ooh. Well, that's a jumper. All right. So I will deal out these cards. And then I will select for you one of these oracle cards as well. So just kind of allow any of your troubles and stressors to gently float to the front of your mind so we can address them in the reading. There's no need to fixate on any parts of them, no need to force it. Just whatever kind of floats to the surface of your consciousness as a concern, Scorpio. Allow it to just kind of wait there. And we will get into the reading just shortly. All right. Ah, yes. It's a very beautiful card. They're all very beautiful cards. So, Scorpio, let me make a note of my timestamp before I forget. And I do put those in the description after the live stream is over, so you can find your sign down below. Scorpio, the flower card that I've drawn for you today is Clematis, and it is about motivation. So what are we talking about motivation here? It's no time to be a couch potato. It's not a time for rest. Life is a bit of a roller coaster. Maybe you feel like you have slumped down into a rut. That's possible. But it's a good time for you to pull yourself out of whatever rut you might feel like you're in. If that takes going for a walk, or calling a friend, or doing some housework to get your juices flowing, all of those things. If you've been dealing with anything like writer's block, or any kind of creative stifling, or if you've just been kind of going to your job, clocking in, clocking out, and coming home and crashing, it could be time to mix something new into your routine to kind of get your spark back. What is clematis good for in magic? It's for reaching goals or setting plans for new projects and schemes. It enhances all spell workings and incense blends, so you can add it to your incense to help you achieve aspirations and attain what you desire for yourself and others. Reach for the stars, grasp them firmly. So this is a time for taking action. For you, Scorpio. Let's look here at the past. We have dark-haired boy, the Page of Pentacles. This could have been a job offer. This could have been you accepting a new job. And where we have the Page of Pentacles in the upright in the past, so this doesn't necessarily need to just be a job offer. It could also be an offer to increase your finances. Much like the Page of Cups brings in an offer, the Page of Pentacles is bringing in an offer too. So this could be a partnership. It could be an investment opportunity, or it could be an offer of a job. The card is upright, so this is something that is affecting your current state. You could have just taken the job, or you could still be considering your options. Now, this card really jumped out of the deck, and it is the Seven of Swords. It kind of landed in the reverse. So when we have the Seven of Swords come out in the reverse, and it was very forceful, you are cutting right through any kind of deceptions that people are trying to use against you. Now, that is, I feel like, one of Scorpio's stronger points, being able to really cut through other people's deceptions. Not even their BS, because sometimes people are BSing themselves more than anyone else. This would be active manipulation and other forms of active deception. And this is crossed by the Magician. So there might even be magic involved in this, that someone is trying to deceive you or manipulate you through magic, or that you, through your own personal practice and shadow work, have found ways to circumvent people's deceptions in even a paranormal or supernatural way. That you've honed your skills to that point. Down here in the Imum Scorpio, we're looking at the things that are going to lead you to the future events, to your destiny. And the card that we have there is the King of Wands. When the King of Wands is reversed like this, he can be very harsh. This is air of fire energy, a well-stoked fire fed by oxygen, not burning extra hot like the Knight of Wands, but still with that fiery temper potential there. You can see he's very good, but also very severe. So the King of Wands in the reverse is not all of the good aspects that we see of the King of Wands necessarily. I always think ad executive when I think of the King of Wands, for better or for worse. This could be somebody right now around you who is allowing their anger to get the better of them. But that normally they're a very charismatic and charming leader. From your perspective, we have another king in the reverse. This being the King of Swords. And when he shows up in the reverse, this can be somebody who's very vicious, very ruthless, and exacts the letter of the law in a very draconian way. The King of Swords in the reverse can also be associated heavily with the sign of Libra. And through that, sometimes I will read the King of Swords also as the Justice card in the reverse, that there's an injustice being done. The King of Swords would then be the agent of that, potentially, if you're dealing with somebody who is behaving in this way, or if you yourself are having these tendencies, because of course nobody is one thing or another, right? So the potential is there in a general reading that some of you are having some weaker moments of extreme force, I guess is a good way to put it. But that's not going to be true for everyone. You will know what scenario fits for you. Here in the hopes and fears, no, I'm sorry. This is an outside perspective on the situation. So what we see is the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is a card about, it says up here, obstacles. And it says down here when the card is upright, treason. This is burdens that you've been carrying, and it can also represent oppression. And this card coming out in the reverse, for those of you who are having these tyrannical moments in your own life, it could be that that comes from a place in your past where you were oppressed by somebody else. For the inverse of that situation, if you are dealing with this person, they might come to understand that you will not be dealing with this type of behavior out of them for much longer. Or they could also feel like they are not the ones who are the aggressor in the situation. That is also possible. Here in the future, Scorpio, we have the Three of Wands in the reverse. So depending on how you act in the current environment, the potential is there for energies to return to you that you've put out in the past. It could have been at the beginning of this job. And remember that the oracle card that I've drawn for you for this reading is about motivation and lighting a fire under your own kettle. So if you are able to find that motivation to take action, it will benefit you, and you will have these things available to you threefold in the future. In your hopes and fears, we have the Ace of Wands, and it's reversed. You fear being powerless in situations, Scorpio. You fear your powerlessness. You are also hoping that the potential is there for a new beginning. We do have the word naissance appear, which is about a new beginning, a birth of something. So you could be hoping for the birth of a new creative situation as well. We have another ace right next to it in the midheaven. So this is going to be the result of what is going on down here in the Imam Silai with this King of Wands reversed. And you will be making a change, Scorpio. a very extreme change. The Ace of Swords is very similar to the Death card. It's less similar to the Tower card, because what the Ace of Swords is implying is that you are taking control and forcing the hand of change in a situation. So you would have more control over this than perhaps a Ten of Swords situation or a Tower situation. The Death card is kind of neutral in that way, that it doesn't really discriminate between whether you are the one making the change or whether the change is coming from outside. But I do think, Scorpio, that at some point you will be making a change. The sooner you make it, the more resources will be returning to you. And in the final outcome position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. The potential is there for great fortune. Where we have it in the reverse, change is coming. Change is needed and change is coming. And it's going to be up to you as to how much control you exercise over this situation. It is time for you to act. It is time for you to get up and do something about it. All right, Scorpio, so that will conclude your reading for this week. And now we're just going to turn these cards over for the extended. And finally, we will read for the sign of Pisces. Pisces, 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 Pisces. So Pisces, if you would, just take some very gentle breaths. Just kind of relax, breathe in, and sigh out all of your tension, all of your feelings of inadequacy, I'm hearing. All of your stress that you've been holding on to, any tension, just kind of roll your neck around. Oh, hi, countries of the world. It's good to see you. Thank you. I really appreciate your support. And Pisces, just allow anything that is troubling you, any of your problems, to float gently to the forefront of your mind. Don't focus on them. Don't stress out about them. If you do feel stress, you can just take in a deep breath and just gently release all of that stress. All of that stress. And I'm going to lay your cards out, and then we're going to draw one of the Flower Magic Oracle cards. And just continue to gently relax. Yes, this is the card for sure. It is the Tulip. Stay grounded. Stay grounded, Pisces. Pisces, you're grounded. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. We like to have a good time here on this channel. I'm going to write down your timestamp. I put those in the description after the live stream. Okay. All right, Pisces. So, here in your past, we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups could have been a breakthrough, a catharsis. It could have been meeting your new best friend. It could have been meeting a new group of people with whom you really form a close bond. It could have been meeting a new love interest. Could have been meeting new people, but it could have just been a renewal of your own emotional energies. This can also be communion with a higher power. It could have been a download, an upgrade. I am doing this reading on the full moon. This is a full moon in Cancer, but all of the water signs are going to be feeling it for sure. Here in the current situation, we have the Two of Swords, and it's showing up reversed. So a choice may be out of your hands. And especially if it's related to a renewal of the self. If you've had some kind of realization that you understand about yourself that you can't continue in a particular situation, even though it's very good to get these downloads, and it's always good to be reaching for your higher self, there are going to be situations that fall away from you. And they tell you just to deal with it. But those things are still painful. It still kind of hurts when you have to let them go. In this case, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So there's a situation into which you've put a lot of hard work and resources. And you are evaluating that at this time. But because we have this Two of Swords here, the choice isn't really yours to make. It could be that you've dedicated a lot of time and energy to a particular job and you're being laid off. And it could come down to personality conflicts, which, is kind of a ridiculous thing to have happen. And I really hope that's not the case for all of you. This can be realizing, too, that you've put more into a relationship with somebody else than they are willing to put in with you. And it's not really your choice as to whether or not you remain part of that person's life. They might have just taken all of their energy away, ghosted you, something like that. Now, again, these are not scenarios that I wish on any of you. And of course, a tarot reading is either going to resonate or it's not. And you have the power over the situation. Now, one thing I will say is where we have this Ace of Cups here, the need is very great for this grounding energy. Let's talk about this card a little bit, because one really cool thing about this deck is it tells you ways that you can use these flowers in your own magical practice. So for the tulip here, they're urging you to lay a good foundation. Don't just be floating around in the air. Hold on to tangible things. I think that's another thing we're talking about with this Seven of Pentacles right here, is that you are taking account of the tangible things in your life, possibly as a result of this coming into your own energy like that. Ace of Cups is also pure elemental water energy, so I do like seeing it show up here for you in this transformation. Different things you can use tulip for in your magic. You can put a tulip on your altar or beside your bed to attract or keep a lover. You can plant them in your garden to bring peace to your home and abundance and prosperity into your life. You can keep tulip seeds or petals in your purse or wallet to ensure you always have money. And keep some tulips on hand to help you center. It's very funny that some of these meanings for tulips are associated with grounding, because something I feel like it's appropriate to bring up in conjunction with your reading, Pisces, is the tulip mania in the Netherlands. I believe that was in the 1500s. If you're more of an expert than I on the inflation or market bubble of tulips in the Netherlands during that time period, please bless us with your wisdom down in the comments. I'll allow you to look more into it yourself. But it was a very crazy market, and it was all based around tulips. Down here in the Imam Silai, so this is going to be what drives the action in the midheaven, the goal or destiny. These are all the things that are going on right now that are going to lead to those events. And we have the Three of Pentacles showing up upright. We have the word noble at the top, that you do have a good reputation in what you've done. And of course, if you take that hard work and you take your good professional reputation, these add up to the 10 of Pentacles. So the theory being that if you have all the ingredients, you can make a cake. But if there is no fire, then you can't bake it. You've got all the ingredients, you've got everything there, and it's just going to take this spark. Your perspective on the current situation is that of the Tower. So inverse, it would be being trapped. Upright, it's this very cataclysmic event. Now, this is your perception of everything that's going on right now, of having this choice taken away from you, whatever that choice represents. From an outsider's perspective, we do have the Nine of Swords in the upright. Somebody could see that they're stressing you out with this, or somebody could be very stressed out about having to be the one to do this. There's a lot of anxiety and uncertainty, perhaps some insomnia, perhaps sleeping to avoid situations. Nightmares are also associated with the Nine of Swords. So all of those things could be either what is being perceived in you at this time, that you're stressed out about this, but it could also be that whoever you are dealing with in this situation, it's important for you to know that they're stressed out about it. In the future, we have the, oh, hi, Marcos. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate you watching today. We have the Six of Wands This card is upright. And I think that you can see that victory is attainable. This isn't just the potential for victory. This is your ability to reach out and grab the prize. It's right in front of you. In your hopes and fears, we have the Judgment card, and that also is upright. This is a time of evaluation that you hope your work and whatever this situation entails, that if this is a friend group, for example, or a group of your peers, you hope that they will be judging you fairly. You hope that you will be judged on the merits of your successes and not the humiliation of your failures. Up here in the midheaven, this is going to be the outcome of what is going on down here in the Imam Silai with the Three of Pentacles, where you have this very good professional reputation. Up here in the midheaven, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So again, we have a figure holding a pentacle, moving towards you at quite a clip. The Knight of Pentacles, as far as the knights are concerned, is the slowest moving of all the knights. But he's bringing in money. And this is in the upright. So I think that this will be coming in for you very soon. These are the financial rewards of this situation that you've been dealing with currently. And finally, Pisces, we have the sky, the star card, the air, the sun, the moon, the entire firmament. And things are going to be falling into place. So that's what you need to understand about this particular card that has to do with the sky, is that there is a celestial order to things. That's why we use the stars to predict certain things. This speaks to that celestial order. This word, my French isn't very strong, but I did look up the meanings of all the words, so I would kind of have a framework for this deck. It has to do with things falling away. So it can be things falling away that are no longer helpful to you, and it can also be things falling into place. And remember, Pisces, that your part in all of this is going to be your grounding and your ability to bring yourself into that good centered place. And that is going to conclude the water signs readings for this week. If this resonated with you, please do like, share, and subscribe. I do offer personal readings. That information is in the description. I will not solicit you in the comments. If you ask questions in the comments, I'm more likely to say something along the lines of, well, this is a general reading, and if it resonates with you, then please take it. Otherwise, it might be advised to get a personal reading. I do have other content that comes out on this channel related to my magical practice. So I invite you to go back through those videos as well, if that's something that interests you. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.